Okay, hi. This is a question again from the WJEC GCSE Mathematics Intermediate Unit 1 non-calculated paper. This is a question about forming and solving an inequality. Okay, let's see what we have. Rashid owned N sheep. Ifion had exactly 4 times as many sheep as Rashid. Rashid buys 17 extra sheep. Ifion, I think that's how you say it, sells 8 of his sheep. Ifion still has more sheep than Rashid. Form an inequality. Okay, so I know exactly what I'm doing now. I have to form an inequality. In terms of n, I just mean I have to have n in my inequality. Solve to find the least value of n. You must show all your work in. So let's start again. So Rashid owned n sheep. Ifion had exactly 4 times as many sheep as Rashid. I'm going to write that by there. Well, 4 times as many as n is 4n. Okay, if Rashid owned n, Ifion had 4 times as many as that. 4 times n is 4n. Rashid buys an extra 17 extra sheep. Well, if he had n to start with 17, is n plus 17. Ifion sells 8 of his sheep. Well, if he's selling 8, he's losing 8, or being taken away from his sheep. So that's 4n, take away 8. That's what Ifion has at the moment. If Rashid has n plus 17. Ifion has more sheep than Rashid. So 4n minus 8 is still more than what Rashid has. And there's my inequality. Okay? So I hope you can see how I form that. By looking at each part, building it up. It's handy just to write down what you can see from the information, what you can work out next to the information, and it's easy to put it together then after. Okay, so there's my inequality to solve. Now you solve inequalities in the same way as you solve linear equations. So I've got n's both sides. I'm going to get rid of that n first. I always get rid of the smaller number of letters, whichever side they're on. So this n is less than 4n, so I'm going to get rid of n. That gives me 3n, working down the page. Minus 8 is greater than. Be careful not to change this to an equals. I know we're solving it like an equation, but it's not an equation, it's an inequality. So always keep writing the inequality. Now we're going to add 8, and you have 3n, it becomes nothing is greater than 25. And then we need to divide by 3, and we have n is greater than how many 3's in 25? 8 3's are 24 with 1/3 left over, because that's 25 thirds basically. 24 of those thirds is 8 and 1/3 left over. So n is greater than 8 1/3. Now to help you answer the last bit, which is solve the inequality to find the least value of n. Basically the least value of n should be hang on, let me just rub that out, sorry, I'm going to do a number line. So, we do a number line. Sorry about this. Okay, so if we want to show n greater than 8 1/3, I'll just start at 5, 6, 7, I'm going to be perfect, 8, 9, 10, 11 and so on. Then 8 1/3 are round about by here. Okay, if I'm going to split down to thirds. So it's an open circle because it's just greater than. If it was greater than or equal to, I'd colour the circle in. And greater than 8 1/3 is anywhere after this. Now, because n represents a number of sheep, then n has to be a whole number. You can't have a fraction of a sheep. Okay? You either sell 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, and so on. So the least value of n, so the smallest whole number that is bigger than 8 1/3, that's what we're looking for. The smallest whole number that's bigger than 8 1/3 is of course 9. So the least value that satisfies that inequality, okay, the least value of n is 9. And that's that question there. So that's a tricky question. You've got to take your time, build up the inequality, solve it like a linear equation, and then when it comes to working out least values, they quite often ask you for the least integer, but they were sneaky in this question. It had to be an integer because n is a number of sheep, and you can only have a whole number of sheep. Remember, an integer is a whole number, positive or negative. So they usually ask you for least integers or greatest integers. But in this case, they just said value, but the value had to be a whole number because it was numbers of sheep. Okay, hope that helps. Thank you very much.